So let us meet our very first presenter tonight. This is Jessica Balfour-Ogilvy. Jessica joined the Hear and Say team in 2006, and she's currently clinical manager for listening and spoken language, having worked as a speech pathologist for over 30 years. Jessica will share how critical RAW programs are in empowering children and young people with hearing loss to foster both short and long-term positive experiences in their communities and schools. So please welcome Jessica.
Alone, we can do little. Together, we can do so much. Science tells us that as humans, we need to belong. Yet 95% of families who have a child born who are deaf have had no previous experience with hearing loss, leaving them feeling very alone and unsure of where they belong. Hearing loss does not discriminate based on race, gender, or socioeconomic status. It can happen to me, to you, or to someone you love. The Centre for the Developing Child at Harvard University stresses that just one caring, responsive, communicative partner can make the difference in a child and their family's ability to cope and bounce back from adversity. That one person could be from our team at Hear and Say. This is why our specialist team run the Hear Us Say RAW programs. RAW stands for Resilience and Wellness. We provide the support to our children and families so that they can develop skills to not just survive, but thrive. At Hear and Say, we have 12 group programs at different stages in a child's development. They extend from our babies group, where we connect families together at the earliest possible stages, to our workshops for school leavers to help them navigate the post-school world. These groups support our families developing the skills that they need. Our activities are tailored around leadership, building confidence, and working with each child on an individual basis to help them understand their hearing loss and be able to explain it to others. We know how important our group programs are. Just last week, we received this message from one of our families whose daughter had attended our group program. Looking forward and back, we can't thank Hear and Say enough for the contribution you have made to our daughter Zara's life. From the struggle she had early on, she now holds the high school English academic scholarship. She is a passionate speaker, reader, learner, and we thank you and your team for giving her the skills, confidence, and support to thrive early on. In 2020, and in response to COVID-19, at Hear and Say, we managed to transition some of our group programs online to keep children, families, and clinicians connected. However, not all families were able to have access to these groups. Frustratingly, due to ongoing gaps in our funding, we can only provide these groups in a piecemeal, stop-start manner. Each year in Queensland alone, up to 165 families will receive the initially devastating diagnosis and life-changing diagnosis of hearing loss. Another 100 families of preschoolers will be diagnosed. Our vision is to support all these children. Importantly, Hear and Say, for almost 30 years, has been here to connect families and support them and guide them through to teach their children to speak clearly, be ready for school, and make sure that they achieve what is important to them. It still remains our goal to teach each child to listen and speak, but to provide each family and later each child a place to belong is our number one priority. No one wants to be alone. We all need to belong. Next year, more than ever, we need your help. We want all our children and families to be able to attend one of our groups, to work on their confidence and resilience. With your support, we can provide a place for them to belong, so they are not alone. Tonight, If you pledge $500, we will run one group program to support 20 children and their families. For $5,000, we can run 10 groups in a term at one of our 5 centres around Queensland for up to 100 children and families. Tonight, together, if we can raise $30,000, we can run these groups plus our workshops for teenagers where we help them with their leadership, communication and confidence skills. Please dig deep tonight for our children and our families. Alone, we can do little. Together, we can do so much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Robin. In 2016, our son Kyle was born with profound bilateral hearing loss, which came as a tremendous shock because there's no history of hearing loss in either of our families. To this day, I still remember those initial feelings of despair and hopelessness. But 4.5 years on, I'm delighted to report that Kyle is a confident, happy little boy who is absolutely thriving and living life to the fullest. There's no such word as can't in his vocabulary. Tonight, it's a great honor to be advocating for Hear and Say, and for Jess in particular, who has been pivotal to Kyle's overall successful development. In addition to weekly telepractice sessions, we've also been going to Brisbane once a year to attend Hear and Say group programs and for Kyle's annual hearing assessment. It's such a shame that we've had to miss this year's visit because it's so lovely to meet up with other cochlear families. As an ex-Olympian, I've always had a very positive outlook on life and a strong belief in human potential. From day one, we consciously adopted a positive and hopeful mindset towards Kyle's hearing impairment. I must stress, however, that this didn't come purely naturally. I have been able to be so confident and so optimistic because I know I'm getting all the right information and guidance from world-renowned specialists, experts like Jess and her colleagues at Hear and Say. So tonight, I ask you to support Hear and Say and to contribute generously to their amazing programs that enable deaf children to receive essential peer support and guidance. After all, our overriding goal is to do our utmost to help children overcome life's inevitable adversities and for them to reach their fullest potentials.